What is up, people? It is I, Luffy Can't Read, or just Brendan, and today's video is a comic review, which I do mostly on TikTok, but this is a special one because it's a full story, a massive one, and it is a review on Ultimate Wolverine, which, for those that don't know, Ultimate Wolverine, I was there when the first issue came out, and this is the issue that began my collection. I was buying comics here and there, but just for covers or anything. This is the first one I was like, I actually want to read this and actually get into comics. So I've read the full thing, I have the full thing, and I want to give my thoughts on it because I owe it the respect and the loyalty because it's what started it all. I feel like even though I don't like it, spoilers, I'm going to give it a full honest review and the most, appropriate one in YouTube because I don't know if it'll go over 10 minutes. So I'll kind of just go over kind of every issue or at least every milestone of the story and just give my thoughts on it. For those that don't want to watch that and just for my thoughts on it, I think it's a bad story. No hate to the creative team. I'm not blaming this on them or on Marvel editorial. It could be their fault because they don't know what they're doing right now with the Ultimate Universe. But it's just unfortunately what happened. Issue 1, Ultimate Wolverine number 1. I loved this. The art by Alessandro Capuccio was really good. It's filled with aura. One of my mutuals and I were saying that Ultimate Wolverine is Potential Man and he's also Aura Man. He's just aura and no writing. But yeah, I like this one. I like this issue, and that vibe kind of goes towards issue 2, 3, and 4. 3 being where we get a bit of the story where we meet Ultimate Gambit and Ultimate Black Widow, and they just escape. Wolverine chases them, and then they kind of just remind them a bit of that he is Logan, and he gets a little glimpse of him being Logan, but nothing crazy. But still, like, okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm liking this. Issue 4 was cool too. Issue 5 and 6, we get Ultimate Sabretooth, which, spoilers, he is the best character in this whole run. He's the only good character in this run that has good writing. He's a good guy. He looks out for children. He protects them. He fights for good causes. And he's just a really good character. Issue 7 is we start to see the downslope. I can't remember exactly what happens, but I remember this being the issue where I was like, what's supposed to be happening? And then unfortunately, issue 7 opens the doors for this being like, could this be bad? Issue 8 is where we see the slope just go down. This issue doesn't matter to the story. I was telling your friends, you could read Ultimate Wolverine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you could skip issue 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then just read 13, 14, 15, and 16, and you wouldn't miss anything from the story. This issue, they run into Ultimate Archangel. Beast dies right off rip. A few other members die, and then they just defeat Archangel, and then that's it. That's literally it. Then it just never gets addressed. We never see him again. That's it. That's his whole issue. It's not really relevant to the story, in my opinion. Issue 9, a bit more relevant, we get the Ultimate Sentinels, which are really cool, their concept. They're kind of like Krangs from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they have mutant abilities. Like, we get Ultimate Cyclops, but he's dead, and they have his head in their stomach, like in a robot, and the Sentinel can use his powers. And we see Ultimate Wolverine fight that, and it's a cool fight. And that's kind of it. Like, it's a decent issue. And then we see them take like a mech for themselves, like a Sentinel for themselves. And that's really cool. The Sentinel is like the second best character in my opinion in this whole run. Top 3 at least. And then we really start going down here. We got issue 10. This is the biggest bait of our life because this whole issue focuses on Sabretooth and Wolverine's connection, and Sabretooth passing down this like soul katana type thing, and he keeps talking about how great it is, how important it is, and he entrusts it to Wolverine to use it because Sabretooth just doesn't want to get involved in this, and he trusts him with it. And they've had all this hype with the katana. We see it in the cover, they hype it up in the story. Omega Red finds them, the whole gang pulls up, and I'm like, oh my god, there's going to be a fight. They're going to take down, because the main villains are Colossus at the top, Magic, and Omega Red. Though, like, it's Omega Red and Magic at the top, it's Colossus. So I was like, okay, the first main villain fight. I'm excited. This is the turning point. Let's go. They off-screen him. We don't see the fight. We see the standoff, but we don't see the fight. they off-screen call Red Omega, and we don't even see Wolverine use the sword, which, spoilers, we don't see this sword for the rest of the story. So none of this is relevant to the story as also. The katana holds no importance, and Omega Red, we don't even see the fight. It's just very disappointing that that's how the first main villain goes out. Then we've got the second worst issue in the whole story. Issue 11. For those that have read it, you might know. If you defend it, I don't understand. Because I was reading reviews on Comic Geeks and there's people that gave it like a 3 to 4, and I was like, how? This issue focuses on Cerebro and how Colossus has Cerebro, and Cerebro is basically a nuke. The gang is hiding in a hideout with civilians and everything. And what happens is that there's a Sentinel flying with the Cerebro nuke, and they're going to drop it on their camp. And everyone's panicking and everything. So what? It's so, in my opinion, it's dumb. It's dumb logic, and it's bad writing. What Logan thinks is a good idea. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Logan is back. Like, he's not the Winter Soldier anymore. That happened like issue 6, I think. But basically, Logan thinks it's a good idea. He does this. There's a ship flying with the nuke. Logan hops in the Sentinel that they took, flies, and he's like, I'm gonna prevent them from dropping the nuke. And leaves everyone on the ground, and Forge is like, he's trying to stop it. Forge is like, that's not a good idea. Like, we should all get on it. We should all just leave. And Logan's like, no, I can stop it. So he gets in the Sentinel, flies all the way up to the ship to prevent the nuke from dropping. And the moment he gets up there, they drop the nuke. They bait him. It's the easiest bait trap I've ever read. And basically, the whole team dies, except Sabretooth. Sabretooth makes it out alive with the kids because he leaves before all this happens. But yeah, Ultimate Gambit, Black Widow, Kitty Pryde, Forge, all of them, all the civilians, nuked, out, done. And it's the dumbest thing because Forge was right. All Logan had to do is hop in the Sentinel, maybe take like 1 or 2 more people inside the Sentinel, and then with this massive Sentinel hands, because this Sentinel's massive, grab the remaining of the gang and whatever civilians fit and fly away. Instead, Logan tries stopping them and he gets absolutely baited. And at the same time, I don't care for any of these deaths. I've seen people are finding this a good issue and sad for these characters because they like these characters from main continuity. Like, yes, I feel a bit sad and I care for Ultimate Gambit and Black Widow and all these characters, but I only do because I know them from main continuity and like the MCU movies. I told him, he's like, oh yeah, I like Gambit. Like, you know, Gambit's cool, like in comics and the movies and in games and stuff. But to the content of this story and how these characters are in this story and these characters itself, they have no relevance. They don't matter. They haven't done anything where I should care for them. All they've done is make Wolverine slightly remember who he is for a millisecond and then accept him into their revolutionary group. But other than that, there's no writing, in my opinion. There's no importance to them. Like that's what I'm saying. You could skip this issue and miss nothing at the end. Like they don't matter to the story, unfortunately. Like, it sounds harsh, but they really don't matter to the story. Then we got issue 12, which is Wolverine going to Colossus base and asking the doctor what this Project Jean Grey is, or Phoenix, and she gets freed. And I think issue 13, it might be in this issue or in this issue, but they free Jean Grey, and this is where I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's just pissing me off. Colossus is supposed to be the main villain of this story. He's like the leader from the beginning. They free Jean Grey, Wolverine frees Jean Grey, and Colossus shows up. So I was like, oh my god, yes, we're gonna get, maybe a little showdown or a hint of a showdown because Wolverine has to spin back for his friends. No. Jean Grey obliterates Colossus in one panel, and he dies. That's exactly what happens, and it's just more disappointment. Now we've got Omega Red off screen, and the main villain of this whole story gets defeated in one panel, and it's not even Wolverine defeating him. It's a side character that just got introduced, which is supposed to be like a power grab to show how strong she is. But from a writing perspective, that is not good in my opinion. Issue 14 is the biggest waste of an issue. This whole issue is just like Wolverine looking for medicine in the sewers. And it's like 80% of this issue is just him fighting a grizzly bear in the sewers. That's it. That is quite literally it. You could skip this and not miss out on anything. Issue 15, Wolverine becomes the Winter Soldier again, which I don't mind. What I find dumb is that him becoming that, he can see into limbo apparently, and he finds Magic. Magic is the only bad guy remaining. And issue 16 is the worst issue of this story because it's a bad conclusion. Basically, they go into this town and they find this granny who can somehow just draw summonings on the floor and just open portals into limbo. That's it. And then they go in there, and before I get into that, I want to mention the last, from issue, I think 12, 13, and 14, or at least 13, 14, and 15, there's like 2 to 3 issues where they show Magic backstory of how she came into Limbo, how she gained Darkchild, how she took over it and became the Queen of Limbo, all that. And it's actually really interesting. At that point, I was like, Magic might be the second best character after the Sentinel. After Sabretooth and in front of the Sentinel. And the backstory is really good. I'm like, this is actually, it's not making me feel something, but I was like, okay, it's important. It's trying to tell me something. And slight spoiler, none of that matters because in this issue, Wolverine finds Magic, a child version of Magic, and she asks him to read a story to her. And he doesn't really say, I can't remember too well because I was just so over it. But like, I don't even think he actually fully tells the story. But basically, he kills Magic in her sleep. He finds Magic sleeping and just stabs her, and Magic just goes, no! And then she dies. That's it. There is no fight. Kills Magic in her sleep. There's no fight. So we got the 3 main villains. Omega Red off screens, Colossus basically off screen too in one panel, and Magic killed in her sleep in one panel. There's no major fight with any of the main antagonists. And it's just severely disappointing. And Jean Grey is also severely disappointing because she got freed and I thought she'd be important to the story, and she's not. Other than one-tapping Colossus and showing a power skill, she does nothing important to the story. Once they enter Limbo, she gets lost and doesn't help Wolverine defeat Magic, and she doesn't really do anything. And the story just ends with the both of them flying away, calling themselves heroes, and it just still doesn't really even connect to Ultimate Endgame, which I find funny because Ultimate Wolverine is front and center of Ultimate Endgame. So this story started off good. It started off really strong. The concept was really good. But as it went on, it just became into a mess where honestly none of it mattered. There wasn't really any writing. None of the stuff that happens for a good reason or of any relevance. Like, I'm so upset that out of the three antagonists, there's no fight. All of them get either off-screened or defeated in one panel. It doesn't make me feel anything. It kind of feels cowardly. And then there's also no importance to relevance. Sabretooth we never see again, which is fair. That's part of his character. He wants to escape all of this, but he was the most interesting part of this whole story. And it's really sad that this story went out like this. So if I had to rate it out of 10, I'm giving it like a 3.5 or 4 out of 10. And that's just based off like importance of this story to me in my collection, but also the first like 3 to 4 issues are really good. The rest of the story is bad. Like I said, you could read issues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Skip 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 you want to read. You can skip 14, and you read 15 and 16, and that's it. Like, unfortunately, this is a very disappointing story, but it still holds a special place in my heart. I am going to sell most of it. By the time this goes up, I'll probably post a TikTok saying I'm selling stuff from Mercari. I'm going to keep some of it. I'm keeping, like, the first 4 issues because those really matter to me. But I'm selling issues 5 through 16 on my Mercari. So that is my review on Ultimate Wolverine. Like I said, maybe like a 4 out of 10. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on it, anything that you saw that I didn't saw, make sure to comment that. But yeah, thanks for watching.